Hello and welcome to the Phenomenal Woman series. I'm your host, Nicole. My guest today is a wife, a mother, and a self-proclaimed Bible girl. She's a graduate of the University of the West Indies, and she owns her own YouTube channel, and she is a makeup guru. She also believes that women should have confidence no matter their circumstance in life. My guest today is Nadia Morris. Nadia, it's so good to have you here. Tell us, who is Nadia Morris?
Hi Nicole, thank you for having me. Nadia, who's Nadia? Nadia is a Jesus girl. She is a wife, a mother, daughter, friend, entrepreneur, and a career woman. I grew up in St. Mary. My parents were, devout Christians, or they still are. So I grew up in the church, so that gave me a foundation. I have a first degree in international relations, and I also have an MBA that I received 2 years ago from the Mona School of Business, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I have two businesses, Nads Makeup and Is Decor, that I manage by balancing my work, my home life, and my entrepreneurial side.
You have two businesses. How do you find time to manage two businesses, a full-time job, being a mother, a wife? How do you make time to balance all of those aspects of your life?
Well, it's all about time management and setting time for the individual things that you need to do. For my home life, I know that when I leave work and get home, I leave work at work, and when it's time for home life, it's time for home life. And it's a matter of spending late nights working on your business plans and your ideas that you have for your business. So you just have to set time for each aspect of your life. That's how you balance, set the time.
Your background is in international relations, and you recently completed your MBA in business. Tell us, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced as a woman climbing the professional ladder?
So I have a degree in international relations and business, but I've never worked in the field of international relations, to be honest. And I think the first disappointment in my career was that I applied for a job at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I went to the third level, to the interview, the test, everything, and I didn't get the job. But I know now that I was called to work into community development and projects, so I love that. But the main thing that I could take away from my career is that I had great supervisors who believed in me and helped to climb the ladder. So I'm just grateful for that, because on one occasion, my first job as an intern, my supervisor gave me this task to do, and he just gave me an entire study to complete in an inner city community to collect data entry, and to have the data ready for publication. And from that, I learned so much. And then other bosses just entrusted me more information, more work to do because of my work ethic. But one challenge I've always had was that despite my qualifications, I suffered from imposter syndrome where I didn't believe I could take up the space that I was placed in. So I worked through that by working on my confidence and knowing that I'm called to do something and I have my space and I need to be there, I'm supposed to be there. So that's how I overcame those challenges, just knowing that I'm called and I'm qualified.
Nadia, that's a critical point that you just raised. The whole issue of imposter syndrome. Tell us how debilitating that is, especially when we as women embody that in our psyche and it's displayed in our behavior and outlook towards life every day. Tell us what sort of inspiration would you want to give to women who are probably currently suffering from that?
Wow. You see, with imposter syndrome, you constantly live in fear that you're not supposed to be in this space, and so that you just don't know how to cope. So you're here and you're taking up the space, but you're not working at your optimal level. You're not working at the level that you could really, work at. So I think what could I possibly share with you guys is that you have to get into a place where you are cognizant of the fact that you are a phenomenal woman. You are phenomenal, and whatever qualifications or whatever you've been through in life, that you need to be there and you need to take up the space that you are occupying.
Nadia, tell me, what three things do you think makes a woman phenomenal?
Well, a woman who is phenomenal is unapologetic. She knows who she is. She would not stand for foolishness. A second thing I would say is that she's confident in who she is. And three, she's resilient. She's able to get back up if she falls and just press on and to push forward to being a better person.
All right, the month of March it's significant for women worldwide. March 8 in particular is recognized as International Women's Day, and the issues affecting women, they continue to be at the forefront. I want to focus on the relationship that women have with each other in particular, and you sort of touch on those sort of topics on your YouTube channel. I want to know, what are your thoughts as it pertains to women supporting each other or relationship with each other, the challenges that we face, and what can we do as a collective to, build a sisterhood?
All right, what I think we need to do is to address the main issue that we have as women. We find it hard to support other women because we think that if she's doing it, I can't do it. Or if she's doing it, why can't I do it? Sometimes it just takes us asking, you're winning, how can I win? Can you show me how to win? This crab in a barrel mentality is the issue that we have as women, because one is climbing and then you feel as if you can't climb if I'm not climbing. So I think we need to get to a place where we are supporting each other, know that there is a large pie. The world is an oyster. So it's so large, you can't service everybody. I can speak for the beauty industry. It's so large, you can't service everybody. There's a piece for everybody. So know that, and know that within yourself, who you are as a person, and just know that what somebody else has is not necessarily for you. So just stick to what you in your lane and just appreciate what you can do for yourself and not look at anybody else's success.
A lot of women would say that it's easier said than done. So what tips would you want to give them?
What tips? I would say first find out who are you, because I think the main issue is we're suffering from self-esteem issues, we're suffering from confidence issues. So once you know who you are, what is your purpose in life, then you're best able to walk into that lane or that niche that you're called to. So once you know who you are, it's limitless from there. Just know who you are, not what anybody else says, but who you are. Just know who you are.
Nadia, I want to ask you this question. as a professional woman, very successful, and you're married as well. A lot of professional women, you often hear them say that they can't find a good man, men are intimidated by their success, etc. But you have been able to find that balance. You're married to a man who's a protector, a provider, your biggest cheerleader. What sort of advice would you be able to give to these women who think it's a daunting task to be able to find someone with whom they're equally yoked?
That first, before you even think about marriage, you have to think about you as an individual. Who are you? Know your identity, because I think that most times persons get into marriage thinking that, okay, this person is gonna be my other half, or sometimes you go into the union feeling as if we're not equal, but really you should be equals. And I think that we should start from being the Ephesians 5:33 kind of woman, where the husband loves the wife and the wife should respect the husband. And we should also have that at the back of our minds all the time, that we are entering into a union where it's mutual respect and understanding, and you have love that will just go through whatever obstacles you may have. So you balance by basically just being there for each other, knowing that what you bring to the table, what he brings to the table, and that you come together as one team. That's how you enter a marriage.
I'm happy you raised that by being balanced and coming together as one. You have a YouTube channel where you speak about issues of the heart, where you mix beauty with the gospel.
Yes.
Tell us, what is the meaning behind your YouTube channel? Why did you venture into that niche in particular? And what sort of motivation would you want to give to women?
Well, I started that YouTube channel in about 2011 when I just started with makeup. It was for makeup only. But then I realized that last year it took a different turn. I myself needed to go on a path of healing. There were many things that happened in life, hurt, pain, friendships ended, and I had to find an avenue to express what I need to go through and to help others. Well, it started with just me finding a way to heal, and then I found other persons, other women were saying that, Nadia, this is lifting me up, it's helping me, and I'm like, okay, so maybe I can do this. And it's not just about beauty on the outside, because yes, I'm a makeup artist, but on the outside you can put on a facade, but what is really happening inside, sometimes we need to dig a little deeper to see what is really happening with me, what is the matter, what is related to my heart that I need to fix. So I find that it just turned into something of its own, taken a life of its own, and I'm just grateful that persons are being blessed by that channel. So that as women, or even as men, because maybe men are watching too, that you should just, the times are hard, coronavirus is here, the pandemic has changed a lot of our lives, so I would just encourage persons to not be daunted by the virus or by what is happening around us. Find something that can make you happy to, pull yourself up out of the dumps. Sometimes you can feel like, oh, you can't socialize, but find something to focus on that can take your mind off of what's happening in the world today.
Nadia, you say you are a Bible girl, the quintessential Proverbs 31 woman. Tell us, before we go, what makes Nadia Morris of Jamaica a phenomenal woman?
Nadia Morris is a woman who knows who she is. She knows whose she is. She's fearfully and wonderfully made. She's blessed and highly favored. She's walking in purpose and allowing other women to draw other women up so they can also walk in purpose. She's letting God lead her life. So she's just sitting down and enjoying the ride. She's becoming more patient and focused. So yeah, that's Nadia. She's just aiming to be a better person. Every day, being a better person.